Listen.
Yeah! Yes, God! Oh. Get that out of there!
Hey everybody, it's your boy Matty Rants. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Do me a favor, hit that like button, share, and subscribe to the page. We're talking about Pose, Season 3, Episode 6. Something old, something new. Don't forget my reaction is on Patreon. It's a Patreon exclusive since the powers that be here on YouTube said you can no longer do reactions to Pose. Fine, they'll be on Patreon. All right, here are my social medias before we start this review up. Catch me at Matty Rants on both Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Bookable on Cameo, on the Stereo app for Monday and Wednesday podcasts, as well as on Airtime app. I'm partnered with them for Tuesday and Thursday shows. Check on my social medias for those times and when available. Also on Twitter at the Matty Rants. And if you'd like to donate to the channel, please and thank you. Cash App $Matty Rants, Venmo Matty-Rants. PayPal.me/MattyRants. For those of you who follow me on my other social media pages, you know I'm dealing with another ear infection, this time this ear, and we're currently on antibiotics. I apologize for how long this took to do, but I needed at least a 24-hour period to rest. But I've been busy every day, so I really haven't even had that. I'm booked. The girls are mad. I want to go through my key points of this episode that I particularly like, as well as what I think the season's going to end on, okay? This is definitely the beginning of the end for the series. It sort of felt that way throughout the season, but I think this is where it's really starting to feel real because we start off the episode with PrayTell back in the doctor's office again, dealing with Dr. McDerp. And he's telling him, you're going blind. This is normally the sign of the last days for AIDS patients. PrayTell's like, F all that. I've already survived through most of this. You told me I was going to be gone 6 months ago, and I'm still here. PrayTell lasted longer than the expectations, but at the same time, his health is deteriorating, and he's got to take notice of that. While that's sad, it makes me feel like PrayTell's ending will be the end of Season 3. It just feels that way. I even saw the preview for next week, and I was like, are we going to have this moment like when Candy died, and there's this big lip sync, which I would be okay with. I would be super okay with because that was everything. But it's sad to see because PrayTell, such an important character on the show. And of course, he's trying to keep his cool with everybody around him, which would be Blanca and the family by keeping these lovely shades, by the way, lovely shades. But all this is happening while Angel and Papi are trying to get married, and PrayTell doesn't want to make this about him. So he's quick to tell everybody who is constantly worried about him, honey, I may need some help, but this is about Angel and Papi, and we got to make sure that they get to the next level, right? We see him, he's helping Blanca with the dress, being honest about it. It just felt like PrayTell was there to lead us into the next episode from this episode, okay? So this episode was actually more so about Angel and Papi, and we follow up the situation that Angel had with Papi having a kid and her not being able to take it, slamming doors, walking out. Papi's over there heartbroken. Ricky's over there every now and then helping out Papi with little Esteban Jr., who's so adorable. Whoever your mama is, y'all should be proud. That baby is adorable. Adorable. He's so cute. I was like, oh, I want children. No, maybe. No, maybe. Like looking at him, I was like, maybe I want to have a kid. Maybe. Papi's going through it. I hope the wedding's not off. I still love Angel, but I got to think about this little man first because honestly, who else does that child have but his dad that's left in this earth? Now, Angel's over there sulking and crying, and this is too much, and I can't believe he put me through this, and, I'm not taking care of someone else's child, and I do see that point. I understand her, but I've also lived through seeing a parent take care of another person's child based off of circumstances and situations that happen because they don't want that child to be put in the system, or they don't want that child to be left without a home or go through a whole entire process that is not going to be beneficial for that baby. And while I do, again, understand Angel's point on this, I would be someone who would be down for my man or whoever and say, okay, let's do what we got to do. Because obviously this person is a part of you and I love you. And so I love them because they're a part of you. There's always different circumstances and situations for people where it's a yes or no from them, and everyone has the right to feel the way they want to feel. So I get Angel, but it's also like, damn, like, I need you, sister, to be on it right now. Blanca did talk some sense into her. It wasn't fully sinking in. Angel mentioned that she needed to go ahead and give her dad some money, her real papi, her biological father. And apparently they've been communicating back and forth. Blanca was a little bit confused by it, because it's like, wait a minute, that's the same person that threw you out and you're still sending the money? They communicate, but it's not the best communication. You always want to hold on to your family, and I totally understand Angel in this point. Because Lord knows that it'd be the same deal with me and my own man. Like, we're here, and then all of a sudden he'll say something, and it's like, we were so close to having a great day, and then you wanted to say some shit. But she goes and meets up with her father, just to let him know, like, hey, I got engaged. I was doing all this stuff. Of course, they give him money too, but the conversation about gender gets thrown into this, and the disappointment he feels as a father that his son is now a woman, and it's a lot to take in. And originally he's ashamed of her, and in one instance a waitress comes by and starts to speak to them, and it's almost as if the father got it but just sort of said, I'm going to appease my child in this moment and give her this because I haven't been doing this enough and I need to, and introduced Angel as his daughter. And of course, Angel's gorgeous, gorgeous, okay? As a child, you don't want to lose your parents or your family because that's where you started. And when you open up about yourself to those people and they push you away, it is so painful. And instead of them understanding or realizing that pushing you away was wrong, it's almost as if they take it like you made that decision for yourself. So now how we feel is justified. But when it comes to gender and sexuality, it's a completely different story. And I want us as people to find more love, and for parents to recognize that love with their children. I understand that some people feel this I don't agree with type of stuff. I get that, but that does not help your child. It will never be something that comforts them or makes them feel better about anything with their life. They will always continue to look at you and be like, that's my mother or my father, and I love them, but they will never truly understand me, and they will never get me, and you will never have that back. And I get it. I understand. I hear people now type, oh, I get it, but I can't look at my father the same way ever. I can't. Some family members I can never speak to again. I could never show them any respect because they never respected me. There's so many situations in life where you as a person, especially as a child growing into an adult, come to realize your own self and your own self-acceptance and that love for you, for everything you've been through, that you won't change that for someone to be comfortable around you, okay? Either way, a kiss on the forehead, I love you, Dad, walking away. Angel realized with meeting her father that what he was doing to her is what she did to Papi. Now, as she comes back into the house, because she wants to meet back up with this man or whatever, right? When she comes back to meet up with Papi, Papi's eating breakfast with Esteban Jr., girl. And they're having this conversation, y'all. And when I say Papi started talking about what it means to be a man, and I was not ready, Jesus. I was not ready. Them making food together was cute, all that stuff, all that father time, all that kind of stuff. But that conversation about being a man and how it's okay to cry, I wish my father would have had that conversation with me. I was told never to cry, that men don't cry, and it's a sign of weakness. Yeah. Insane. Angel's walking in the door and she's hearing this conversation that he's having with his child, and also about the love he has for, Angel, how much he misses her. And it's like she's getting this backstory coming in, like, oh my God, I can't believe I put him through all of this. And so as Angel saunters into the room and Papi's just welling up with emotion, that was very tough to watch. It was like, whoo, okay, I see him oh my God, she came back in. Is this for real? Is this not for real? What's this gonna be? They finally make up and reconcile. And of course, when Esteban Jr. is asked to be into the conversation, he gonna get the plate of pancakes and put it up, baby. I was like, oh my God. I wanted to marry Papi just so I could be like a stepdad to that child, okay? I was like, oh my God. Angel is overwhelmed a little bit by Esteban Jr. being a 5-year-old and a little bit rowdy. And of course has to call Blanca to save her ass. And Blanca comes in there with what would have been the perfect savior medicine for me as a child. Zach, the Black Ranger from Power Rangers outfit, bitch. And that little boy put that clothes on and went right into his poses. Go, go, Power Rangers. Y'all knew the poses back then. Billy was my favorite. I was a fan of the Blue Ranger back then. Before I continue with the Angel Papi wedding storyline, I want to dive into some other things that happened in between this. Elektra stayed on Angel's ass about this wedding, you damn Skippy. We got to see the dude that Lulu was fucking with who was fine. But that pipe that came out his hand, honey, that made him very, very ugly. Okay? And so Lulu's taking her sobriety seriously and does not want to fuck it up. And I'm here for that. Once it's time for them to file for their marriage certificate, that's when it really gets complicated because on Angel's passport, it still shows male and hasn't been changed. And of course, at that time, it was not legal, for that marriage to take place. So with Angel not being clockable, that's where it was the hope of let's just talk to her. Let's just run this through. Let's see if this is going to make it through. Now, in reality, I don't see how that would have passed. But I'm sure it has when certain people have come up there to be like, come on. But maybe not. But that was great for TV because Lord knows I was holding my breath the entire time. Watch my reaction. But they got the marriage license and they're able to get married. And let's just get to the wedding because that wedding was gorgeous. The venue was beautiful. The flower arrangements, like watching that wedding when it made me want to get married. And I do want to get married. I really do. I got really sad watching that, but also happy because it felt like I was sitting in the audience with all of the other women who were sitting there in their bridal gowns. Jiggly, you looked beautiful, my darling. And you got a line, sister. I just want to know what the menu looked like. Come on. You look beautiful, my sister. All of you did. Every single one of you. Everybody was gorgeous. Lulu, gorgeous. Elektra, gorgeous. That pink dress was pussy. Prior to them getting to the wedding, though, they had of course, the men sit with their, best men and do their little thing, whatever. The men get together, do a cigar, celebrate, going on to the next chapter of his life. And of course, he brought in Lamar, PrayTell, and Ricky, to have that conversation. PrayTell, tells them that he's basically going blind now and his AIDS is progressing. Of course, it makes everyone sad. But then as Papi's having this conversation about the people that are most important in his life, the men who are most important in his life, Cubby's ghost pops up with a martini glass, giving you all of Manhattan. And I'm telling you, I boo-hooed. I wasn't ready to see Cubby. It was a beautiful moment, and the cheers was done right. We get over to Angel's story with the something borrowed, something blue, something old, and something new. I love that something old came from Blanca, and Blanca gave her her mother's recipe book so they could be cooking in the house all the time. Elektra gave her something new, which was that bone white mink coat. My God, it was beautiful. Beautiful. And she talked about her struggles with surviving on the streets and how that coat saved her ass. And if you remember, we watched in episode 3, that coat was muy importante for Elektra. So it was like, that was a beautiful moment there. Lulu gave Angel the something borrowed, her 1 month sobriety chip. Say that we did this journey and I couldn't have done this without you, and that I'm in this with you too. It's a beautiful moment there. And something blue part, they wrapped Candy's hammer in this blue wrapper. I hope I'm getting this right. If I'm wrong, please forgive me. They wrapped it in that they wrapped the hammer up. And it was like, I can't even take this. No, I can't take this. This is Candy's. Next thing you know, Candy's on the piano. Hey, Angelica, I was glad to see you, sister. Y'all, this show takes me through it. I swear to God. I'm like, oh my God, Candy's here. And Candy's having that deep speech with her. And it's a beautiful moment. And it's all these tears. Let's just get to the wedding. Everybody, again, looked beautiful. We already said that. PrayTell had a great speech prior to them giving their vows away. Angel's vows were everything. I love them so much. But Papi, you had me at, and I swear by the moon and the stars and the sky. I'll be there. Who was singing along? I think we all were singing along at that point. I would die. No, I wouldn't. I would have, we'd have the best sex. But if I get married and my fiance ends up singing to me as part of their vows, I'd be an emotional wreck. I think that's one of the most beautiful ways of showing love is through something like that, whether it's an instrument or through singing, through song or something. Something artistic is always such a beautiful way to express love. So when Papi did that, it was everything. I loved it. It was a beautiful ceremony. I can't say that enough. It was so beautiful. And when they were leaving, I love Electra for this, bitch. I love you, Electra, for this, because this was everything for me, Mama. Girl, they were leaving, child. Everyone's like, woo! And all of a sudden, there's this car. It was a Ford Mustang, honey. And I mean, Papi was like, wait, what? And Electra goes, you didn't think I forgot about you, did you? Handing them keys. All right, look at now, Electra. You have came through for all these kids. Come on, the mob is giving her that good money, okay? I love it. I almost thought, because the show was over, but then they showed them at the beach. It's like Papi is like just reading a magazine, and this guy sits next to Papi and just starts, hey, it's family. Like, ain't nothing better, right? Yeah, ain't nothing better. Is that your wife and son? Yeah, beautiful family. I think the part that made me well up the most with emotions was when Papi ran over there to help them with the sandcastle, and I heard Esteban Jr. call Angel mommy, and I don't know why that like blew me up. I was like, oh, I literally was like, woo, like I couldn't believe it. It was so, I was so happy in that moment. I'm happy for Angel. I'm happy that Papi and Angel got their happy ending. But this final episode is next week, y'all. I'm nervous. I am scared. I love this show so much. I don't want it to end. I'm getting emotional thinking about it. It's been such a great show. We got reality TV and we have all that kind of stuff, but like when you get a show that includes Black, POC, gay, trans into the mixture, you delve a little bit of history into there, but then you see faces that relate to you. Golly, it's gonna be a tough loss. It's gonna be a tough loss. So tell me what you thought of this week's episode in the comment section down below. Thanks again for tuning in. I have so much work to do today. I gotta go. Hit that like button, share, and subscribe. It's your boy Matty Rants. I'll talk to you next time.